you would all please rise for the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
You could all be seated, please. Well, good morning to everyone. We're so happy to welcome all of our families, friends, faculty, and staff, Chair of our Board of Trustees, Dr. Mark Morgan, all of you here to this commencement ceremony, and most of all to the graduating class, the class of 2021. We're so happy to be here this morning and so happy that we can gather in person to celebrate our graduates. It's awesome to be here for this special day. I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Laird, Mr. Seigan, and Ms. Perez for the processional you heard this morning was our virtual orchestra, so our orchestra who had put that together, as well as our chorale that did the national anthem. So thank them for making that possible. Before I continue, I'd like to take a moment to recognize all of the members of our team here at NCSSM for going really above and beyond to make today's in-person commencement possible for the class of 2021 and their families. We don't normally, for those of you, this would be probably your first commencement here maybe, this is not the normal location for commencement in normal years. It's out on the Watts lawn, and so lots of effort went out here to putting this together and putting all the chairs out, and then redoing it last night when storms blew through and blew them all over. So really thanks to our facilities team for getting this set up for today, and for all of our folks in academic programs who helped to organize today's event. We know that graduating from high school is an important milestone and an accomplishment in your lives. We wanted to make sure that we could honor and celebrate this accomplishment to the best of our ability, and this would not really have been possible without so many people's help. I want to give a special shout out to a few people. Dr. Angela Ticci, who was up here speaking to you earlier, for all of her work in organizing this, Ms. Kathy Miller, and our tech and video teams who are out here live streaming this morning. And I also wanted to say a special thank you to Kathy Miller. She is retiring this December, so this will be her last commencement, and she's been instrumental in planning our commencements for more than a decade now. And so Kathy, if you're here someplace, please give a wave. Thank you for everything you've done over the past years to make sure commencement was special for our students and their families. I also want to thank our student life team for planning our senior days on Thursday and Friday, the past couple of days. They did an amazing job of putting these days together. They were fun-filled, and most importantly, they allowed for the class of 2021 to come together for the first time, all as a group in 14 months. And so it was great to walk around and see all of the smiles and all of the fun-filled activities that they were having. I think everybody had a great time, and so just want to give thanks to our student life team and others who helped to make those days possible. Hope you guys had a good time and had fun. And regrettably, we're unable this morning to have all of our juniors here. And again, in normal circumstances, the juniors would be here as well as all of our faculty and staff. But we have many here who are volunteering to help. But, so for those that can't be here, I know that they were a critical part of your experience as well. And so they're probably watching on live stream and sending you good thoughts and celebrating your accomplishment as well. So I know that everything that has been going on in our country and the world over the past 2 years has dominated much of our thoughts and actions. And I believe that's important to make reference to these things because they're historic and will help define this time and have a lasting impact on all of us. However, today is really about you, each of you and all of you together as a class. And I want to make sure I begin my remarks focused on all of you. So today brings an official close to this chapter of your NCSSM experience. I think back to the excitement and great pleasure it was for us to welcome you here on move-in day. And now 2 years later, what a privilege it is to award you your diploma, and at the same time, how bittersweet it is to be saying goodbye for now, wishing we had a little bit more time together on campus. And to parents and families, I know that you're filled with a tremendous sense of pride in your daughter or son today, and well, you should be. And I want to take this moment to thank all of you for sharing them with us over the past 2 years and supporting them all along the way for many, many more years. As a parent of 3 school-age children and a college freshman, I know just how difficult being a parent has been this past year. While we are hopefully coming out of the pandemic and your daughter or son is embarking now on the next chapter of their lives as adults, your work is not over. They still need you. They'll continue to need you as much as ever, maybe just a little bit differently. So graduates, we're all here today feeling a great sense of pride in your accomplishment. I know our faculty and staff are proud to have had an opportunity to get to know and work with you, and it's truly been a great honor and pleasure for me. Probably more so than in any other year, I've looked forward to this day with both hope and worry, not knowing what today might look like and hoping so much that it would look like it does here today with all of us gathered together celebrating you. So as you conclude this part of your educational and life journey, I hope that you have or will take a little time to reflect back on your experiences as individuals and as a class. 2 short years ago, you made the decision to attend NCSSM. This was a big and bold decision, a risk of sorts. Each of you had known tremendous success, and yet chose to accept the challenge of the unknown, to accept the greater challenge. As a member of the NCSSM class of 2021, 354 students strong from 79 counties across North Carolina. Most of you knew very few of your classmates at the time, and here we are today, and think of all that you've done in the most unusual and challenging of circumstances. Over the past 2 years, all the friends you've made, all you've accomplished, and how you've grown as individuals and as a community. A little over a year ago, around spring break, I had shared a video with all of you. At that time, we were just a month into the pandemic, and we were all facing many unknowns about what the months and year ahead might bring. In that video, I said, I hope that we could all seek out and find joys and insights where we could. And that when we look back on this time, that I hope that it was not what we couldn't do that defined this time in us, but instead what we could and did do. And you all have leaned into this, and today is the time to celebrate your achievements and accomplishments thus far. Whether these accomplishments were in the classroom, in academic competitions, in research, in the arts, or serving the community and helping others, you've accomplished so much, and you've done so in ways that have been astonishing. You've adapted to doing most things virtual, and in doing so, you've taken home honors at major academic competitions in the state, the nation, and internationally, so much so that it took 140 slides earlier this week to go through all of your accomplishments at our award ceremony. More than 80% of you have participated in a variety of research experiences, again, most often virtually, and you've presented your research at major competitions, events, our own research symposium, and through our two student research journals, the Broad Street Scientific and Fifth World. The pandemic did not stop the presses at NCSSM. You guys continued to do amazing work. You've put on amazing virtual performances and found ways to continue your fantastic art, and less formally, your artistic talents and creativity were on display virtually this year, whether it be the Cultural Fest, Coffee House, and in the Blue Mirror, which was just published yesterday, which was beautiful. And you've continued to find ways to give back to your community. You volunteered at vaccine clinics, food drives, and in so many different ways. While you yourselves were greatly challenged this year, you've made an effort to do for others, and thank you for that. And impressively, your talent and hard work has earned the class of 2021 more than $15 million in college scholarship offers. Congratulations. So this is certainly not an exhaustive list of all you've achieved, because while accomplishments are often recognized with medals and certificates, it's not those things that you will take with you wherever you go. It's your experiences in those things that you have learned and done, and how they've helped shape who you are, that you will carry with you to the many new places you'll go. It's also important to remember that you did not achieve your successes on your own. Each graduate owes a great deal, not only to your classmates, but to many others who are celebrating you today. And I'd like to recognize those who've helped you along the way. To the parents and guardians and friends who've nurtured and supported these graduates, thank you for the love and support you've shown them. I know it's not easy to let your son or daughter go away from home at an earlier age than maybe you anticipated, but I know that you are so proud of them today, and so thank you for your support. And to all of our staff, our teachers, counselors, administrators, who've contributed in so many ways to the success of each of our graduates, thank you for y'all's work and caring, because along with the students' support of one another, it's your talents and mentorship, it's your hard work and support and caring that helps create a living and learning community where our students can grow and thrive. And this year in particular, you've adapted just about everything that we do to make that so. So thank you so much for all you've done for all of our students. What I will remember so fondly about the class of 2021 is how you've in so many ways risen above the challenges you faced this year, not only to succeed as individuals, but to find ways to support one another and try to help others in the broader community. Make no mistake, what you've faced over the past 2 years in the global pandemic has been a challenge of historic proportion. The challenge has been immense. Many have lost much, including all of you. But true to who you are, while you've regretted what you've lost, it did not stop you from doing. You've helped one another as well as the broader community, whether through efforts to provide tutoring support for other students across North Carolina, to provide raising funds for COVID-19 relief, volunteering at vaccine clinics. You've sought ways to help others in spite of your own needs, and I have so appreciated how selfless you have all been. You've also been actively engaged as our country and our state and so many of our communities have been reckoning with and responding to the racism, injustice, and violence that has defined the past 2 years as much as the pandemic. The engagement of young leaders like you and many others, young and old, calling for change has already led to some positive change, but there's still Dr. King's mountain to climb. What brings me so much hope in a time of historic challenges and uncertainty is all of you. Your great intellect and knowing how to apply your knowledge, your compassion, your understanding that you're part of a community larger than yourselves, and your desire to make things better than they were is who all of you are. Your resilience and action is what it takes to address great challenges like the ones that you faced over the past 2 years, and those that you will face in the future. This is who you are, what you've done, and what you can do. I want to thank you all for what you've done for each other, our community, and I want to thank you in advance for what I know you will do in the years to come. We're counting on you. At this time, I'd like to introduce our student body president, Megan Moe, to provide remarks. Thank you.
Here goes my earring. Okay. I remember the day that we were sent home last year like it was just yesterday. Being one of the last Reynolds residents to move out, I strode down a mostly empty hall hoisting an enormous hefty bag for one last trip to the dumpsters. Now, forgive me for oversharing, but I really don't take out my trash as often as I should, which means that the bag was nearly overflowing from everything from empty bowls of late-night ramen to moldy fruit that hadn't seen the light of day in weeks. And so by the time the dumpsters were finally within sight, my arms weren't the only thing that gave out. Hefty evidently wasn't as ultra strong as their ads claimed to be. Yeah, that's right. I was left standing in the middle of campus, literally next to a pile of my own garbage that had begun to scatter away with the wind. It was truly the cherry on top of the proverbial sundae of having our only normal year at NCSSM cut short. Now, I tell this shameful story not to solicit pity, although I'm sure that's exactly what my hallmates took on me when they came to the rescue with some new trash bags, but as a testament to what I think every single one of us has felt at some point this past year, at an ultimate low. This is the side of NCSSM that others don't necessarily perceive, while commending us as the supposed best and brightest of the state. But this group here knows, better than anyone else, of all of the unseen struggles that had to take place to propel us to where we are now. Yeah, it's easy to applaud science and math for the thriving community, exceptional opportunities, and unparalleled success with low-density model. But it's equally, if not more important, to appreciate the hundreds of people who sacrifice countless hours of unrecognized effort behind the scenes so that we could all be here today. To all of our staff who have literally risked their lives so that we could come back to campus, we thank you. To faculty who have transformed their entire curricula and pedagogy to ensure that we continue to learn and grow in virtual spaces, we thank you. To administration for accomplishing the impossible feat of safely bringing nearly 1,000 students and employees back to campus, we thank you. And to all of the friends and family here and at home who have tirelessly supported us along the way, we thank you. Most of all, of course, to the class of 2021. Simply put, you all are astounding. Yet, again, it would be naive and insensible to merely speak of our accomplishments without acknowledging our humanity in the times we came so close to breaking. Because while the unique challenges of this year were an anomaly, the issues that sparked them certainly were not. Injustice is, and always has been, ubiquitous. The lives of people of color, immigrants, those living in poverty, and queer individuals were devalued, dehumanized, and taken time and again with no subsequent guarantee of retributive nor restorative justice. As we witnessed events of racial trauma, gendered violence, and socioeconomic disparity play out in our nation, I know I speak from personal experience when I say that the voices of the student body was one of the only reasons that we as a collective were able to survive, process, and challenge these acts of oppression. Because it's when I see my peers coming together in solidarity for one another, openly celebrating their culture, discovering new aspects of their identities, advocating for their classmates' mental health, forging ahead with their work despite the never-ending physical isolation, continuing to challenge our own institution, and always actively working to better our community, I find myself renewed with hope and love. Despite how excruciatingly difficult this past year has been, I've been continuously awed by how members of the NCSSM community constantly put others' needs before their own. And most of all, it's the students who never fail to make this virtual and physical campus a safe haven for our peers who need support, especially those who could not find it within their previous communities. This is the legacy that the class of 2021 has left for future generations who tread this campus. This is what I hope remains at the forefront of our memories when recalling what we valued most during our precious, all too short time here. Looking ahead to the future, since we were lucky enough to be able to at least experience part of NCSSM in its entirety, I'd like to argue that we have an obligation to take everything that we have learned here and use it to continue improving the lives of those around us, especially those who were not afforded the same privilege of such free, high-quality education. Because who's to say we were any more deserving of the incredible resources that the school has to offer than anyone else in the state? And to everyone uncertain as to whether they'll be able to succeed in the so-called real world as adults, including myself, just remember, we all made it through the physics requirements here. We're no strangers to a good amount of suffering. So, as we embark on the next chapter of our lives, to my fellow members of the class of 2021, I want to say, of course, thank you. Thank you to all of you who are always willing to stay and loiter with me in the PFM for 5 more minutes of conversation that expanded my understanding of all our unique struggles, for enduring my relentless student government campaign promotions and holding me accountable to my role, for the late-night existential life talks and spontaneous 9th Street walks that brought me immeasurable comfort and joy, for cultivating the strongest community that I've ever been a part of, and for pushing me to become the best version of myself that I could be today. To NCSSM, I thank you for the 2 most challenging yet rewarding and truly life-changing years thus far. I know each and every one of us will go on to accomplish extraordinary feats in life because we already have. When one of you inevitably becomes rich and famous, I hope you don't mind if I sell your autograph from the t-shirt signing dance. I have nothing but the deepest love and admiration for you all. May our paths cross again soon. Thank you so much. And now, it is my honor to introduce our next student speaker, our Student Senate President, Sam Heiner.
NCSSM class of 2021. We were the guinea pigs, experimenting with the transition to semesters, an extra half hour of sleep with 8:30 a.m. classes, and of course, a global pandemic. These events have given us an NCSSM experience unlike any other. But through this struggle, and it truly was a struggle, we've become not weaker, but stronger, more able to help those around us, and more prepared to truly make the world a better place. We learned how to adapt to world-changing circumstances while still graduating from the most rigorous high school in the state. The coming together of the NCSSM community was incredible. Students kept our community safe by social distancing so well that compared to other schools, we had a shockingly low number of COVID cases. I'd make a joke about UNC here, but I'm still hoping for that tuition benefit. Community interest groups sprung up across campus, and students across campus adapted events and made efforts to ensure that incoming juniors would be able to take part in this wonderful community. For the barriers imposed by our circumstances, the effort of our community to come together and help others has been awe-inspiring. Moving past the obligatory self-congratulation, our mission at NCSSM goes beyond the 2 years that we spend here physically. NCSSM's pillars, as defined in its mission, are not just to educate talented students, but also to cultivate engaged citizens. As we enter yet another period of learning and discovery in college, we cannot forget what we saw during this year, the power of those who care enough to help others. With the incredible education we all have received and the experiences we have had, imagine what we could achieve if we all sought to improve the world around us as much as possible. To conclude, I want to speak to those who don't feel like this last year was a triumph, to those who have no idea what their purpose is or what they want to do for the rest of their life. It is easy to feel overwhelmed and small when you look at the incredible feats some of your peers have achieved. Look beyond these short-lived feelings by observing on the scale of your life. There is so much waiting for you beyond what you've achieved so far. This time in your life is an opportunity unlike any other, where you can find what matters to you in the long run and embrace those ideals, allowing your short-term fears and insecurities to wash away in the face of what you find truly meaningful. For those who struggle to find meaning, look around you and within yourself. There are so many others traveling through this incredible, unique experience of life together. What cause is greater than bringing joy to these lives all around you using your skills and interests? We all have the potential to lead great, impactful lives, and I'm excited to see what we accomplish.
Greetings, students, faculty, staff, families, and friends of NCSSM. On behalf of academic programs, I bring congratulations to the class of 2021. Since we have no class rank or valedictorian, our student speaker at commencement is selected from speeches submitted by members of the class. A committee of faculty and staff reviewed all entries to determine which speech most uniquely captured the NCSSM experience. I am pleased to introduce the student speaker for the class of 2021. Our speaker was involved in mock trial with Dr. Hudson and Science Bowl with Dr. Wheeler this year. He created the Neuroscience Club with incredible support from Dr. Powell and worked as Dr. Powell's teacher assistant in biology. Living on 3rd East, he wants to thank J.J. Watts for his constant support this year. As part of the NCSSM mentorship program, he worked with Dr. Kathleen Gates at UNC Chapel Hill. Next year, he'll be attending Honors Carolina at UNC Chapel Hill, majoring in biology on a pre-med track. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to your class of 2021 student speaker, Anuragh Sriram.
Good morning, everyone. I want to begin by thanking the remarkable panoply of friends, family, faculty, staff, administrators, honorable guests, and most importantly, my fellow graduates of the class of 2021 for being here and for helping to make this institution what it is today. In addition, In addition, I would also like to take a second and profusely thank all of the individuals who played a role in planning this face-to-face graduation ceremony today. Thank you all so much. I consider myself very lucky and privileged to have been able to spend the last 2 years with such a robust, talented, and energetic group of people. We all deserve to celebrate and to be proud of ourselves. My admiration for each one of you has grown with each story of determination, resilience, and ambition. My definition of leadership has been molded into one of serving, learning, and empathizing. These stories have made me fall deeper in love with this school. We came here from near and afar in search of a challenging and rigorous academic environment, one with plentiful opportunities not afforded to us at our home high schools. Yet, as our backgrounds, personal narratives, and personalities converged over the past 2 years, I'm ecstatic to say that today, we graduate as a community. Together, we faced down a global pandemic, denounced systemic racism, and peacefully protested for climate change reform, among others. These obstacles reveal how strong we are. We did not give up. And amidst these struggles, we sought out motivation and empathy from one another, and in the process, received a snapshot of the lives of other driven and like-minded individuals. We also had long, stimulating conversations with faculty and staff members who encouraged us to challenge the status quo, while also providing us with helpful advice. But more importantly, our coursework has taught us that sharing knowledge is just as important as receiving it. Because without sharing, knowledge has no value. As such, we have not only embraced the ideas of collaboration and teamwork here at NCSSM, but have taken it to the next level. In fact, I struggle to think of even one aspect of campus culture that doesn't idolize these values. This intense level of collaboration and teamwork that is so intricately woven itself into NCSSM's framework of learning and living have taught us how every individual brings a unique talent, knowledge, skill, or experience to enhance our lives. I think I speak for all of us when I say that NCSSM not only challenged us intellectually, but also emotionally and mentally to think of the bigger picture, to find lives of meaning and purpose, and to find passions that animate us. The NCSSM I know loves a challenge, and my oh my, we face a big one. Class of 2021, we graduate into a world increasingly hostile to expertise. Nevertheless, we have a responsibility to our communities, our society, and our nation to use our distinguished education to do good in the world. And although we may no longer be near the friends and mentors who helped us through the good and bad times, I hope that we continue to keep in touch with this community that is responsible for getting us here today. I hope that we continue to listen to ourselves and follow the righteous path. I hope that we continue to cultivate the belief that we can achieve anything we put our minds to as we embark on another journey to obtain the tools and the knowledge to help make those countless dreams and visions a reality. And finally, I hope that we continue to learn and grow as leaders who will use our knowledge, talents, and passions to solve the most pressing matters our society faces today. And in turn, help ensure that others have access to the same or to greater opportunities than we did. NCSSM has shown us that the sciences and humanities are not to be approached separately, but in an interdisciplinary fashion. As I look at you all today, I see a fine group of scientists, doctors, engineers, authors, teachers, lawyers, politicians, and global citizens who will make a difference in their fields and in the world. The problems our society faces today are our problems too, and we can no longer afford to stand on the sidelines. We are the ones who will come up with innovative and brilliant solutions that will forever change the course of mankind. Nothing can take us down. Thank you all, and congratulations, class. We did it.
Well, thank you, Anuragh and Megan and Sam, for your remarks, and thank you for your leadership this year. Fantastic job. Chair Morgan, I present to you the class of 2021. Awarding their diplomas signifies that they have completed all requirements for graduation as set forth by the NCSSM Board of Trustees. Will the graduating class please rise?
Chancellor Roberts, on behalf of the Board of Trustees and this school which serves the people of North Carolina, I accept your recommendation and authorize the presentation of these diplomas. Graduates, enjoy this day. You've earned it.
So, seniors, please be seated. And as we would like to appropriately and respectfully honor all of these extraordinary graduates as they accept their diplomas, I would encourage the audience to please hold your applause and any individual display of support, however unique or exuberant, until the last diploma has been presented. Thank you. So we will begin to award diplomas for the class of 2021.
Kevin Ludwig Abaya. Rihanna Isabel Absher. Essie Bafwa Aqua. Enoch Adedeji. Shreyas Pranav Adaraju. Robert Vito Aiello. Divya Ikut. Bella Alfaro. Yashas Sai Ambati. David Michael Apple. Liliana Enedina Arias. Cole James Armstrong. Josiah Patrick Arnold. Lydie Elvira Ataos. Bonnie Wren Austin. William Evan Ayers. Rashik Azad. Sahil Azad. Karwicki Ramesh Babu. Sydney Grace Baker. Alyssa Hope Bandel. Drayden Xavier Barwick. Joseph, Joseph Jason Batta Jr. Drake Alexander Barnard Bauernfeind. Jonathan Thomas Bennett. Hannah Rose Bergevin. Daria Jenny Bernard. Anika Lakshmi Badriraju. Jeannie Lane Biggs. Amin Mohammed Bit. Marwan Bit. Nicholas James Boyer. Bryson Edwin Brading. Ethan Marcus Brewer. Matthew Hunter Bunch. Kylie Meekum Burgess. Cameron Nicole Byram. Andrew Peter Kahn. Ezukubebe Cairns. Carson Allen Campbell. Evan David Stewart Campbell. Joseph Brent Campbell. Dylan Bryce Carey. Johan Osmar Castañeda Jaimes. Chase Schuyler Chandler. Annalise Y. Chang. Alvin Chen. Henry Chen. Tianning Tsai Chen. Lauren Takemi Chi. Varsha Chintalapati. Callista Alexandra Klein. Oliver Lewis Clodfelter. Betty Lahem Kloss. Carson Foster Cole. William Morhard Collins. Adam Michael Corbett. Noah Steele Corbett. Catherine Grace Cornelius. Abigail Elizabeth Cornett. Jocelyn Daria Council. Owen Alexander Courtright. Colby Allen Kress. Sophia Eileen Kroom. Christopher Edward Crow. Jane Isabel Crowley. Caroline Rose Cunningham. Mark Ryan Cuppet. Garrett William Cushman. Matthew Chance Cutbush. Stokes Alexander Donnell. Adam Chong Davis. Sarah Ellen Dean. Jackson Lee DeArmy. Daniel Robert DeHorty. Tomas Stores Delgado. Evan John Den. Timothy Tianhao Deng. Elias James Derrickson. Shardul Abhijit Deshpande. Kenna Marie Dixon. Colleen Marie Dungera. Grace Merveille Fignon Dossou. Thomas Neil Downing. Melissa Sheen Du. Siddhant Dubey. Charlotte Nancy Eovine. Kayleen Tiffany Yoon. Jennifer Zochi Fan. Relisha Anaya Ferguson. Marcus Arthur Fuel. Jason Josu Flores Rivera. Callista G. Foray. Caspian French. Leah Rachel French. Matthew Christopher Frost Shoemaker. Matthew Robert Futch. Diana Ray Futrell. Pierce Bagas Gamboa. Aisha Gandhi. Ananya Kumar Garg. Forrest Walker Garrett. Michael Alexander Garris. Bennett Yuan G. Hannah Yeshitilla Gebra Michael. Ava Elise Guideman. Annabelle Grace Goldsmith. Elizabeth Paula Ganka. Benjamin Zachary Gordon. Indra Kumar Reddy Gadaviti. Charles Zachary Gottlieb. Bethany Elisa Lee Graham. Hannah Mae Greer. Jacob A. Grindberg. Akshay Gudaduru. Keenan W. Guy. Mary Nguyen Ha. Anna Joy Hallahan. Terrence Justin Keon Hampton. Isabel Irene Smith Hardwig. Brittany Faith Harrelson. Amelia Catherine Harris. Gabriel David Hart. John Grayson Heath. Harold June Heatherly. Victoria Alexis Henry. Isaac Sonny Hensley. Bryce Douglas Herring. Samuel Oliver Heiner. Tara Lane McDevitt Hinton. Elizabeth Ann Hochberg. Jenny Yajin Hong. Hadley Noel Hosford. Sloan Mackenzie Hovey. Kaya Lee Ann Hubbard. Anna Doris Eichelheimer. Justin Reuben Indla. Hunter Carl Ivy. Carson Blake Jackson. Jonathan Kuruvilla Jacob. Frank Jaimes II. Amisha Jan. Anika Jan. Ariana Nicole Jenkins. Sammy Jiang. Daniel Sun Jin. Charles Johnson III. Ashlyn Joshi. Sean Sungwook Jung. Ryan Spencer Kalo. Alicia Kamath. Olive Marie Keener. Anthony Douglas Kelly. Lorelei Ann Kelly. Claire Frances Kennerly. Austin Flynn Katola. Aiden Joseph Kibler. David Robert Thor Kildee. Theodore Kim. Anna Bella King. Theo Kitchell. Trevor James Kitsinian. Faith Ann Kesters. Makin Coillock. Shresht Kolavenyu. Owen Bradley Cuppa. Lillian Yuta Kritchmar. Isabella May Kreitzer. Akshat Kumar. Arvin Singh Kushwaha. Kaya Jessica Kushmerchuk. Chen Lei. Jaden Rebecca Leatherman. Karina Lay. Yasmin Odalise Leon Mateo. James Wenhan Lee. Emily Arlisha Liggins. Haran Claire Lim. Emily Grace Lynn. Lorelei Grace Linkle. David Jaming Liu. Jessica Tiayi Liu. Bryson George Lee Laughlin.
I've been told that weather conditions require me to speed up just a bit. Alan J. Ma. Kate Song Ma. Kai Ian Malone. Shreya Devi Mantina. Elizabeth Eileen Marsh. Brian Garcia Martinez. Daniel DeWitt Matthews. Alexa Jolie Mavrakis. Clifford McGinnis. Jordan T. McLeod. Arav Penkesh Mehta. Catherine Elizabeth Ann Minton. Ethan Matthew Messier. Andre John Theodore Mistrianu. Alexander Bradshaw Mize. Abir Mohsen. Chloe Isabella Monson. Kira Lee Montambo. Bryce Patrick Mooney. Abigail Faith Moore. Andrew James Moore. Samad Marjul Moore. Sarah Monteith Motler. Megan Moe. Naina Mahesh Kumar Nair. Abigail Rose Napier. Sienna Lynn Nason. Om Nehruker. David Jung Nguyen. Alec James Nip. Namdi Obi. Ainsley Rebecca Ogletree. Kendra Brooke Oliveira. Akshura Primnurasu Paimagam. Elijah Duvall Parrish. Casey Nelson Parker. Krutik Patel. Viha Patel. Brianna Lynn Patterson. Lauren Nicole Patterson. Hallie Pierce. Sarah Ann Perdue. Emily Kim Fan. Serenity Danielle Phillips. Carl Daniel Pittenger. Michaela Berlinda Pittman. Sorry. Naomi Grace Plumley. William Fraser Powell. Tanya Q. Ruhi Chandra Rapolu. Benjamin Rashley. Phoebe Adriana Responti. Varshit Srisai Rayapali. Nithya Priya Ranganathan. Connor Justin Rich. Daniel Frederick Richard. Carter Blake Richardson. Riley Eugene Richardson. Sawyer James Rideout. Elson Ray Hunt Roakin. Jordan Elise Rose. Virginia Sue Rostick. Arghya Roy. Nico Rush. Justice Mary Sabo. Solomon Edward Salido. Donovan George Schlacott. Joseph McCrae Sievers. Anshu Anuk Shah. Ekta Pankaj Shah. Isha Shakti. Harper Cash Shanley. Rachel Rebecca Shao. Josie Elizabeth Sheeler. Carson Daniel Shepler. Nicholas N. Shorter. Graham Keenan Shunk. Isaac Uche Simon. Carter Grace Sinclair. Siddharth M. Savaram. Anna Marie Sloan. Kira Jade Smart. Emily Brooks Smith. Isabella Rose Smith. Camille Isabella Smith. Madeline Vale Smith. Matthew Bernard Smith. Shravya Sampali. Nicholas J. Sorticio. Maya Ann Southers. Anuragh Krishna Sriram. Anna Elizabeth Steed. Michael Jerome Steele, Jr. Talon Vihara Steinman. Connor Stewart. Delaney Bell Strait. Madeline K. Street. Lily John Sue. Lauren Elise Subramaniam. Nimalan J. Subramanian. Neil Sebastian Sood. Renda Reddy Sudhini. Carson Palmer Joshua Sullivan. Grace Elizabeth Paula Sullivan. Janie Sasha Isabella Arathune Webster Sirkin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sai Pranav Swarna. Richalu Abisha Ta Jr. Marina Takara. Jada Ray Target. Ritika Tejwani. Henry Wilson Thomas. Cameron A. Thomas. William Grayson Thomas. Jasmine Rain Topfer. Morgan Ashley Sweet. Brandon Jacob Tucker. Emma Elizabeth Tucker. Gabriella Rebecca Tucker. Donna Jean Ulrich. Bhargav Viduri. Hazik Imad Volyani. Josie M. Vandy Klasshorst. Kelly Renee Van, Nathra Vasudevan, Aditi Hemant Wamarkar, Ashley Wang, Kenneth Gary Wang, Kiki Wang, Taylor Lee Ward, Hannah Grace Warlick, Daniel Howan Way, James Gerald Wenzel, Matthew Allen Westbrook, Trevor Mark Weedman, Christopher Lee Williams, Sullivan Dale Williams, Quinn Simone Wolford, Alexander Gerard Wooden, Tyler Cheen Shah, Daniel Shia, Jonathan Lee Shu, Dhruv Nagavenkata Yalamanchi, Emily Haoqing Yang, Jason Yang, Lixin Yang, Nathan Shuyuan Yang, Jennifer Wynn Yi, Jimin Yu, Jong Yuan Yuan, Eric Zhang, Evan Wu Zhang, Holly Zhang, Nathan Yang Zhang, Nicole Zhang, Renee Zhang, Alice Chow. Andrew Chi Zin. Audrey Zoe. Nina Zhuo.
Thank you and congratulations again to all of the members of the class of 2021. That's always a great photo to capture with all the hats flying in the air, so I hope we got one of those. So congratulations again, and I want to again thank all of our families and friends and faculty and staff, our NCSSM leadership for everything that they've done to support you all to get here today. And now that you have all officially joined the ranks of the 11,000 plus NCSSM alumni and you prepare to embark on this next leg of your journey, I hope that as you go forward in the years to come, you'll remember the opportunity given to you these past 2 years by this great state and through the support of those 11,000 alumni. So that when you are a little older and you're an alumnus, that you'll be able to make sure that, as Anuragh said in his speech, that you remember all of those that come behind you, that hopefully they will have the same or better opportunities that you've had. When people ask me what's special about NCSSM, one of the things I always mention is the campus community. The NCSSM community is a place where you each help create. A place where you feel you belong, a place where you make others feel that they belong, and a place where you all make each other better than you might have been on your own. So when I reflect back on the class of 2021, it's about how you've truly lived this and redefined what community means literally. You made a wonderful community together here on campus, and when the adversity of COVID-19 hit, you lost the physical campus community that you knew, but yet you still maintained your community. I know how tough this part has been for you, and I absolutely understand that it was not the same, but you should be so proud because of what you were able to do and did. You've demonstrated so well that community is not about a place, but it's about the people and what they make of it. The class of 2021 has lived this, and for that, I'm so grateful. I want to leave you this morning with a few words from a favorite poet of mine, Maya Angelou. These words were written the year that most of you were born, literally just starting your journey. This poem was delivered at the presidential inauguration in 1993. It's a poem that spoke to hope, courage, and grace, and much as did the words of poet Amanda Gorman earlier this year. This is from the final stanza of On the Pulse of Morning. Here on the pulse of this new day, you may have the grace to look up and out, and into your sister's eyes and into your brother's face, your country, and say simply, very simply, with hope, good morning. Congratulations again. You've all exemplified courage, grace, and hope over the past 2 years, and I wish you all continued hope, courage, and grace in the years to come. I look forward to the next time I see you, so take care and be safe, and go Unis. At this time, if everybody would please stand to honor our new graduates of the North Carolina School of Science and Mathematics, class of 2021, as they recess. Once the graduates and platform party have left the field, families and guests can exit the field through either gate. And I hope you all please travel safe and have a wonderful, wonderful summer.